Sir, I completely agree with the adjournment motion that has been filed today and that we are debating. The person who proposed the motion, the honourable member, being a lawyer himself, stated very correctly, given the economic situation that the country faces, if the country is to come out of this, one of the most important aspects will be to bring in foreign investments. And for that purpose, if the judiciary and the legal structure in the country is not improved, particularly with regards to the matter that we are discussing today, that is the immense amount of time that is wasted when a matter goes before courts. I think the investors will find many other more attractive locations. There is no doubt about it. So when you are literally scraping the barrel, if you don't at least try and get your house in order, then once again it will be a case of Sri Lanka missing the bus. So in that respect, I think this particular motion is very timely, and our party will fully cooperate with whatever steps that the government chooses to take in this regard. I was here for both the proposer's speech and the seconder's speech, but I don't know whether the Honourable Minister for Justice spoke soon after. I missed his remarks. In fact, I wanted to check, so I checked the Parliament channel to see whether your speech has been uploaded, but unfortunately it has not. So I don't know what he had said, if he had in fact spoken. But I wish to bring one important matter, particularly with regards to the constituency that we represent, which is the Northeast. You see, sir, whilst generally speaking, the judicial system has to be improved to a point where we cut down on the time spent in court. You see, when you talk in terms of civil matters, which is what the proposer was primarily talking about, it's a totally different thing to when you talk of criminal matters, because when it concerns a criminal matter, a person's liberty is at stake. More often than not, there are occasions when people are in remand, custody, and it takes years and years. So generally speaking, when it comes to criminal matters where one's liberty is curtailed, there is a more sort of added reason to have these matters expedited so that some sort of finale can be brought and closure can be brought to the person concerned. But the point that I want to specifically talk about when it comes to these criminal matters is with regards to the PTA. Now, our constituency, the members of parliament, the Tamil members of parliament in particular that represent the Northeast, have consistently been talking about this issue. We have had several meetings, both with previous governments, with the present government, with the ministers concerned. We have gone to the Attorney General's Department in our own capacity, spoken to the Honourable Attorney General himself on several occasions, and we have been urging that the cases with regards to the PTA be brought to a close. And we say that for the reason, the moment the government itself has accepted, not only domestically but internationally, that the PTA is a draconian law, it's an unjust law and in fact must be repealed, then the fact that those cases are outstanding becomes completely untenable, Honourable Presiding Member. And the onus is on the government, therefore. In fact, I believe that the government has on several occasions made commitments with regards to a moratorium on the PTA being used. Of course, that moratorium is on the breach, being observed in the breach, but still, when the government has gone to that extent, not only this government, even the previous government, has gone to the extent of admitting internationally that the PTA must be repealed and new, more humane laws must, if at all, be brought in, then it becomes imperative that the government takes up the question of Tamil political detainees as a political issue. You can't just leave it to the Attorney General, because naturally the Attorney General is not ideally not a political personality. He must not decide on policy. Policy is something that this House must decide. And it is the government that must decide on these things. So when the governments, not only this government, even the previous government, has accepted that this PTA is a draconian law and must be repealed, then it is our view, and we will urge very strongly that all these detainees be released immediately. There are, in total, my figures would suggest that there are 19 individuals today being either convicted. I think there are around 7 convicted individuals who also have more cases that are ongoing. But other than for that, a total of 19 cases outstanding. Cases that are ongoing and with people in remand, you have Selvaraja Kirubakaran, Tambaya Prakash, Nadesan Kugadasan, Subramaniam Surendran, Yogaraja Nirojan, Kanagaratnam Adityan, and Kartigesu Sivaji. The last 3, that is Surendran, Nirojan, Adityan, was due for
Honorable
judgment.
Member, you have 2 more minutes.
It was due for judgment, and today, in fact, was judgment day. Again, on the 3rd occasion, it's been postponed. Then you have convicted people like Navaratnam, Shanmugalingam, Surya Kumar, Shanmugarajan, Sellathurai Kirubaharan, Ramachandran, Valentino, Madanaseharan. Now these are convicted individuals. And then on appeal, you have another 5. Sivakumar, Parthiban, Ananda Sudaharan, Nimalan Thangavel, and Umar Kadas. Now, sir, with regards to the first name, Selvaraja Kirubaharan, see how unreasonable this is. A case carried on for 11 years. At the end of it, it was a forced confession. Court found that it was a forced confession, ruled the confession out. He was acquitted. Then the AG's department goes and files 2 new cases on the same confession. So when a court has already rejected that confession, saying that it is not voluntary, for the AG's department to then thereafter file 2 new cases based on the same confession, these are very unjust steps, Honorable Presiding Member. It might be completely correct when you look at the law and the rules, but these are just blatantly unfair and unjust actions. And
Honorable Member,
basis,
your time is over.
It is on that, I'm winding up, and it is on that basis that I asked the Honorable Minister. I think the President, when he made a visit to the UK, he has in fact made various commitments to the diaspora, saying that he will look into this matter and in fact release all these political prisoners. Look, it's 15 years since the war ended. Normally, Honorable Presiding Member, when political prisoners come to an end, they are released when that project that might have been seen as a crime has come to an end. When that project doesn't exist to carry on by keeping them under custody, it is just completely unfair. And I think the government and the Honorable Minister must intervene in this regard. And must not look to try and again release just a few individuals at a time, but must take a policy decision and release all of them. Thank you, sir.